What's up, guys? This is James with Just Press A, doing a quick trading recap. Today is Friday, December 4th. It was a good day. Well, it was an annoying day. It was a green day, but the encouraging thing is that I have just hit the end of the week. It's Friday, obviously, and it was a green week, and I'm above my monthly goals, which is very encouraging, especially for somebody like myself who is just starting out. If you've been following with us along the way, you know that this has been several months since we've started trading. It's December 1st marks the day that we started trading with real money, with real strategies. So up to then, we were in simulators and just doing training and watching videos and reading books and trying to hone in our craft here. And as of December 1st, we have kicked it off. So having the first week that we kicked it off be a green week above our monthly goals is, I mean, that makes me very happy. So, all right, sorry. So a quick trading recap on today. The two that we were looking at today that were identified in pre-market was PPSI, Pioneer Power Solutions. They got a pre-market catalyst, dropped at like 8 a.m. or something like that. They settled a, let's see if I can find it. They settled a legal dispute, legal matter. And obviously went in their way because the stock price reacted to it fairly well. So you see this big move in pre-market, and that's what we look for. We look for the big movers in pre-market, and we see if they meet our criteria, which are generally lower priced, lower float stocks with big movement on high volume with a catalyst. All of these things add up to be a good recipe. The pre-market, we watched it all pre-market. It had a pre-market high of right here in the 520s area. 523 sounds familiar. I think that's what it was. At open, it popped pretty nicely here. This was a very chaotic candle. I was watching it. I did not buy in this candle. Which, hindsight being 2020, you can see, oh, of course you didn't buy in that candle. But if you look at it, it looked like it was about to take off. But because it was so chaotic, I stayed out of it. I did not buy in that candle. That turned out to be a good decision. And it dropped below the high of day, which is that red line you're seeing. That red line is that 523 or 526 or whatever it was this morning. It continued to rock and roll straight into my 9:45 window, which is my favorite time of day. As it crested the 525.30s area, because of this candle here, because of the opening candle, it actually made a new high of day at 540. But it was so chaotic, I kind of ignored that high of day. I kind of stuck with the 520 high of day. As it was inside of this candle that I started hitting the buy button. Now this is where the story gets very sad. It was inside of this candle right there. This is where the story starts to get a little sad. Because of an issue with my brokerage account, it would not let me make my purchase. The funds that I thought I was working with haven't cleared properly, and I was unable to purchase, which really is a very sad story, because this was just a perfect textbook dip and rip move in the 9:45 window. All of the elements were in place, and if the buy button would have worked, then it would have been a perfect play. I was hitting the buy button in the 530s, and I watched it do its consolidation here in this candle here was when I started hitting the sell button in the very low sixes. Well, I guess it wasn't that candle then. It was in the very low sixes. It may have been the following candle. But a perfect dip and rip move. This would have been, unfortunately, because of an issue with my brokerage account. Like I said, I couldn't get the move. Fortunately, my second look here, HGSH, your sketchy Chinese company pump and dump of the day. This was also one that came up on pre-market scanners as it hit several high days right here. Vertical action over the course of like 5 minutes. It had jumped over 100%. Well, not over 100%, close to it. It put a high a day, a pre-market high day here somewhere. Now, before you would think, now this one had the volume of the day. This one was a stupid volume pre-market, easily the highest volume of all of them pre-market, and it was working in the fours. The issue with it was that the catalyst was, it's obviously a Chinese. If you've been paying attention to the market, you know what's going on with the Chinese companies right now. A lot of pump and dumps, a lot of people trying to sell off shares for that reason. So not seeing any company-specific news is the second red flag. The first red flag being that the name of the company is China Real Estate Inc. Knowing that it's a Chinese company in this current market is kind of a red flag. On top of that, seeing a big pump with no real catalyst was the second red flag. And the market's open right now here at 2 o'clock. You can see that it is indeed trading back down to the low threes. But anyway, so my eyes were on PPSI most of the morning. I had set several alerts all here in these 4 areas just to make sure I didn't miss a move, because what I was waiting for was for this to dip and then rip back through that hot line, so that red line. So it started hitting all my alerts. It hit them mostly here and then fell back, and then it hit some more of my alerts here. I literally set like an alert every 5 cents on this to make sure I didn't miss it. Fortunately, it was right. It was at 93, so 493 was where I was able to make a purchase. It was my brokerage account finally worked for me. It allowed me to do it. I sold again in the very next candle. Again, my account was being very finicky, but I sold again in the very next candle. I believe it was at I think it was 513, something like that. So I was also a little sketched out, to be honest with you. So 513, a little bit higher than that candle, or a little bit higher than that arrow is where I sold. I was a little sketched out from my account acting funny, so I was probably a little bit quick to sell for that reason. But additionally, I wasn't really thrilled with the catalyst on this company. I didn't think it was going to climb very far. It ended up dipping way back down below hot and then back up to 540, and 540 is the high of the day, and it ain't going back. I'm almost quite sure it's not going back. It is sold all the way down to the low threes, and that's probably where it's going to live until it dies. These Chinese companies are textbook pump and dumps. I was able to make a little bit of profit on this. It was half position, which basically means I've got certain targets set for myself, in my goals for how big of a position I want, and then daily profit goals, and so on and so forth in my strategy. And because of my account giving me the issues that it was, I had to go half position, so I ended up making about half what I should have made on this one, which was nothing compared to what I would have made on PPSI if my account was acting right. So it was a green day, and it put my week right where it needed to be, ahead of my goals for the month, which is great. Still a little bit of a disappointing day because of the account issues, but the encouraging thing is that we are finding these tickers. We are doing the correct fundamentals. We're putting the recipe together just how it should, and it looks like with PPSI and HGSH that we are predicting these price moves pretty well. So we're happy to see that. That's the end of the day, and that's the end of the week, so I'll see you guys next week. Over the weekend, I'm going to try to do a video on the dip and rip pattern, the dip and rip strategy. If you like, subscribe, hit the alert button so that whether you're an accomplished trader or a new trader, you can either learn with us as we go, or you can, help us learn what we're doing as we go. But yeah, hit subscribe, and let's rock this out. We're week 1 is in the books, and it was a green week, which is very encouraging. So next week is a new week, and that's when I'll see you guys again next with some more trading recaps. Again, I'm James with Just Press A. Like, subscribe, hit the alert button, and we'll see you next time.